Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss how to change the overall user experience of a website but without getting into the shop themes. Now these are small little changes that you can make to the website which really enhances the look and feel of it. So let's get directly into it. So I'll go into my dashboard, go into settings and go into user experience. I'm going to show you one user experience at a time by exactly showing you before and after. So the first one is product layout on desktop. If I open up this website and if I go down, you'd be seeing that there are 3 products listed here as well as there are 3 products listed in the products page. Now, if I want those 3 products should not be 3 but 4, I can change that from here and I can make it 4. And as you can see, in one row, there are 4 images or rather 4 products showing per row. Now we've not discussed the show dark mobile theme. We will skip that for now. The next one is image view. Now this is a very handy feature, especially for people who've got photographs of different sizes, but they still want that photograph to be fitting in. So what happens is sometimes, let's say I've got all these photographs as square photographs, but let's say you've got odd sizes, a little bit here and there, and it's not completely square, but you want that photograph should be fitting in exactly as it is. Then what you have to do is make it to crop. But sometimes you want that those photographs should be showing exactly as they are, irrespective whether it's fitting into the box or not. Then you can make it center fit. So you can play around with this if you've got that need. Now the next one is product image height and width. Let's say you've got photographs or your products and all your products are of a specific size. Let's say they are long but they're not as wide. And let's say the product's image height is, let's say, 1500 and your width is 1000, and that's the default product width and height. And we are talking about the product image itself. What will happen is all these products will start showing up as long ones. Now it is very important to understand where this is useful. This is specifically useful when it comes to the apparel industry. Let's say you've got trousers and you've got jeans and pants and all these are long images, then you'd require something like this. On the contrary, in let's say shoes, you'd see that the photographs are actually not long, but they should be wider and they're not as long. For that, what we'll do is we'll make that 1000 and we'll make this 1500. And if I do that, then the actual products will showcases this. Now the next one is theme color. Right now the theme color is black, and as you can see that everywhere little bits of hints of black are shown. But let's say that my brand requires me to have green as a color. Now obviously it will look not very good here, but I'm going to show you anyways. Let's say we've got green and this matches, let's say, with my logo. If I do that, then wherever these blacks are used, basically those greens will be used. Now this is especially handy when it comes to matching the design of the system with your logo. We are going to revert it to black because it's not looking very nice. Now the next one is shop font. Before that, I'm going to actually refresh it. Now what is shop font? Wherever there is a font used in the entire system, we can change that font from a single place. So as you can see that all these fonts of menus as well as all the fonts of sections as well as the footer and all the product cards, they all can be changed from a single place. Now that can be done from here. When I click on shop font, it's going to show me all the different fonts that are available. Now for example's sake, I'm picking this up because you'll be able to see an absolute difference here. If I refresh this, you'll be seeing that all my fonts become very, very bold. Obviously, I'm not advocating that these fonts look good, but there are times when you need to change the font accordingly. I'm going to revert this to where it was. I think it was Merriweather. So I'm going to pick up that and I'm going to refresh this. Now this is a very easy way of making a huge impact because fonts by default make the largest amount of impact on your system. Now the next one is title underline height and width. Now what is the title underline height and width? All these small little titles that you can see, they've got title underlines. So these underlines by default is generally, I think, 2, but we can change that. Let's say we want the title underline height to be 1, or title underline width to be 200. Let's say we have something like this. Now all these titles, the underlines will be styled accordingly. If we want that the title underline width should be much larger, we can do so. Otherwise, we can, let's say we want the title underline height to be actually quite bold, and we want it to be a very small underline. It really changes the way it looks. Now, let's say we want that the space before the title should increase. What we can do is we can make the space before the section title as, let's say, 100. Again, I'm not saying that it should be 100, but I'm just showing you exactly what happens. So what happens is the space before the sections, it has been really enlarged. And if we want that the space after the section is also changed, and we, let's say, make it 40, and we'll just make it 30 for now, or 40 again. You can see that after and before every title, there is a large amount of space that is there. Now, what if you want to remove the title underline completely? We can make the height as 0 and width as 0. By doing that, what will happen is the title underlines will go away completely. Again, going forward, now this is a very good one. As you can see that everywhere, wherever there is, everywhere you can see that it's a square. Everywhere it's square. If we want that the border should not be as sharp and it should be a little rounded, what we can do is change the border radius, let's say, to 20. I always recommend not to go beyond 12, but just for demonstration's sake, I'm showing you 20. As you can see that everything has been rounded. As well as all these top little things has been rounded as well. Now, once again, I always recommend to play around with these things so that it suits your needs. And once you know exactly what you need, you can put it as such. I like a sharp edge, so I'll keep it as this, as well as I'll make the product height and width both 1000. And I'm reverting back to where I was before. Now the next one is pretty good. Now this hide instance search bar and category selector is a dependent one based on the kind of header you have. Let me show you what I mean by this. This is called the instance search bar. If you don't want this instance search bar, and for some reason the desktop header that you've selected from your shop theme has this and you still want to hide it, you can hide it by this. And by hiding it, it actually hides this as well as this. So it's going to hide that entire second line altogether. If we want that, we don't want to hide that completely, but we just want to hide the category selector. Then the search bar will show up, but the category selector, which was appearing here, is not showing up. If I unhide that back again where it was, then I can see that both my categories as well as the search bar will show. Now the next one is show count in favicon. We are going to actually skip it. The next one is animated cart button. Now what is an animated cart button? Basically, when I go back in, I'm opening a product, and in the detailed page, this is an add to cart button. If I want this add to cart button to be animated, all I need to do is click this. And as you can see, there is a small animation which is add to cart which has been added. Now let's move on to the next one, which is show floating cart. What is floating cart? If I show this and if I go back into a product, every time I am in the product and if I add something to the cart, you'd see that this floating cart appears, and this floating cart would only appear when you can actually have this on. If I don't have it on, it will not appear. What this allows your customer to do is whenever they are in the product, is basically prompting the user to go to cart and check out. So if I click this, it will show me this, and then if I can view cart, this will show me the view cart. Now the next one is default language. I'll leave it as English for now. This is not a very relevant discussion for now. The next one is remove powered by branding. Now, wherever your website is there, we have a powered by branding right here, powered by Shopivana. We can actually remove that if you want. We always ask you not to remove it because it helps us advertise ourselves as well. But for some reason, if you want this to be removed, then the powered by branding goes away like such. Now the next one is Inactive Tab Title. Now this is a very interesting feature because let's say when somebody is in this tab of yours and when they click away, you want a different message to be showing up rather than your brand name. Let's say you want the message to be please come back. Now if I do this and if I refresh, it's still showing me verbal issues. But if I go here, then it will become please come back. So people have funny things they can put, missing you already. And these are very small prompts that you can actually make so that the customer can come back to your tab whenever they go away. The next one is show accept pop-up. Show accept cookies pop-up. What happens is whenever a customer then refreshes, if I switch it on, they'll get a cookies message that whether we are using the cookies and whether they accept or not. And only when they accept it that they'll actually see the website. The next one is open product page in a new window. If I click this and switch it on, what happens is when I go to my products and if I click a product, it will actually open up this product in a different window rather than opening it up in the same window. The next one are the next two ones are Android only systems or Android only features. So let's say if I open this website in an Android phone, I've done that in a simulator here. And as you can see that my window or my website is completely responsive. The one thing which we can do is address bar color. What is an address bar color? Address bar color is this color on top. This is the address bar. What we can do is if we change that and if we make that, let's say black, and if I refresh this, so the top of the Android bar as well as the address bar underneath it will actually start coming up as black. The next one is show install application. Now install application is a very good feature because in your applications there is an install application button. I cannot simulate it here, but by clicking here, it adds a shortcut for your application of your shop onto the Android phone itself on their home screen. So this is a very quick way of getting your website installed on somebody's application. If you still want to remove it, what you can do is you can say hide and it'll stop showing you that. The next one is the WhatsApp. As you can see that there is a WhatsApp button on your bottom right corner. You can actually get rid of it if you want by saying hide WhatsApp chat. And if I do that, this WhatsApp chat button will go away. The next one is decimal value. Sometimes your products do not have these decimal values. And even then, what happens is it shows up as the entire number .00. And you want to hide that the decimal value, you can do that here. And if I refresh this, then the actual decimal value goes away. The next one is not very relevant, and for custom cursor there is another tutorial altogether. But that's how you actually play around with the user interface and really understand how to tweak your user experience for a customer. I understand that this is a long video and you might have to look into it again and again and really review little things, but you'll have fun with it, I can assure you. Thank you. Bye-bye.